Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, and well, it's dirty. My shirt's dirty, guys. My wife keeps stealing my pink shirt. She's like, "Oh, it's pink. It must be for me." No, it ain't for you. You didn't ask for one. Anyway, today we are looking at a beer that's a contract beer, well, contract brewery, and I picked this beer up through the LCBO's delivery system. The price of this beer, just so we know going into it, is $2.95. Ooh, that's one of the more expensive beers I bought. I mean, yeah. Excuse me. Here's the problem, right? Here's the biggest problem with these breweries. Is a lot of these breweries that I picked up are contract breweries. This one included. Well, the margins on contract breweries are a lot worse because you're paying another brewery for their space as well as everything else. So you need to charge more money, even if it's only 20 cents or so for the same product. Case in point, when Bell City was a contract brewery and Eureka Cream Ale was the most expensive cream ale on the market because they had to pay for the brewing of their beer. So I understand why it's that much money, but at the same time, it's one of these things where something like this is kind of weird to do with that, because it makes the beer more money. This is Woodhouse Brewing Company's lager. So Woodhouse Brewing Company's lager, and that's the reason why I'm saying it's weird to do just, it's 5% alcohol, it's weird to do it just a lager, to me at least, when you are a contract brewer, because your price does go up a little bit. Your margins are smaller than even when you have a brewery, and your margins being smaller hurt even more because your margins aren't that big to begin with. Brewed in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, contains wheat. Ooh, this one has wheat in it? At Woodhouse Brewing Company, we believe simplicity is a good thing. That's why we craft beer brew our refreshing lager using only choice ingredients and no preservatives. The result is an easy drinking premium lager that keeps it simple and to the point. First off, let me say great little description back there because you're telling me exactly what I'm having without telling me what I'm going to taste. I like that. It is not cold, so if there are faults in this, I will pick them up. I do not, as most of you know, enjoy my beers cold. I enjoy my beers more English style, so cool at the most. Usually I put them on the cement floor on the other side of the basement and cool them down that way. This time we did not. This box arrived in the mail today, and it's been 2 hours since it's arrived, and I'm drinking the beer from it. It's been down here for 2 hours, so it's cool, but it's not as cool as usual. Yeah, so like I was saying, a lager just doesn't seem like what I would personally do as a contract brewer, but I understand it at the same time. You can get a lager into a restaurant, into an eatery even easier. I mean, Lost Craft does it, Ace Hill does it, so why not Woodhouse? And there's a lot of other breweries that do it too. It just, to me, especially going into the LCBO where your margins have to be even higher still, where your cans will go up. I mean, it's not the highest price can. I mean, it's not over $3, obviously, which is good, but it's just one of those things where, to me, there's a lot of other choice in the $2.25 to $2.80 range. That's a lager as well. That's the only thing I'm saying. It does look nice though. I mean, it's more. It almost looks more like a Vienna lager than a regular lager. It doesn't have that yellow straw color. It has that beautiful orangey amber color with a bright white head. Nice snap crackle pop. Like this is actually a very visually appealing beer to me. Crystal clear, love it. I mean, I personally love unfiltered beers, but every once in a while you want a crystal clear beer. And there are some crystal clear beers that look really nicely. This is one of them. Smell. Nothing really. A little bit of that, like, hospital air scent, like, just clean, slightly metallic, both from the can and the glass, because I'm going to hear, oh, you're sniffing it from the can, that's why. And a slight touch of sweetness, like, it's it's a very, very simple smelling beer. I mean, there's nothing to it really, and I mean, like, at the same time, that can be a nice thing. Let's try the beer. Cheers. I was expecting a Vienna style lager just by the color, but this actually comes off more like an English pub ale. In all honesty, I mean, I know it's a lager and all that, but it comes off as just like almost like well, by the ABV, like an ESB. It's kind of bready on the background, a little earthy on the background, a little bit of caramel up at the forefront. This reminds me of just an English pub beer. They're right. They keep it simple and to the point. Medium bodied, a little heavier bodied. I'd expect that with wheat. Nice subtle sweetness up at the forefront mixed with some caramel. Nice earthy back end and a biscuity finish. All in all, this is a very clean, easy drinking beer. Get this cold and it would just roll down your throat. You wouldn't even know you're drinking beer. Yeah, that's a very nice beer. I mean, it's a little pricey, but I mean, it's what, $2.90 or was it $2.95? $2.95. So it's only pricey in like a 15 to 30 cent range. So I mean, if you don't care, I mean, if you're buying a 2-4 at a 30-cent difference, well, every 4 is $1.20, so 24 would be like $7.20. That you'd be out $7.20 buying a 2-4 of this over a 2-4 of something that was $2.75 a can. Sorry, $2.65 a can. Usual beer is around $2.80, so you're only losing $2.40 that way. It's a little pricier than those guys, but is it worth it? Mattering what you want. I could see myself using this as a camping beer. I could see myself drinking this with my father-in-law, with my dad, both of them drinking like macros. They're both Blue Light and Blue and Lucky and whatever's cheap that they can get. That's what they love, but they both love drinking my craft beer with me. But I could see them actually enjoying this. My buddy Chris Lysak, DJ Crazy Chris from Lysak Photography, he would love this. Excuse me, I know a lot of people that would really enjoy this, and I'm actually quite impressed with this little contract brewery that I knew nothing about, that I had just found online a few days ago, and they have a second beer as well. I didn't see it on the LCBO's site, but I'd be intrigued on that one as well now. So Woodhouse Brewing Company's lager, I think I'd give that a 7.75 out of 10. I actually quite enjoy that. Cheers, guys.